Good morning. It's Wednesday, the end of July, the 31st. Here's what we're working on. The leader of Hamas has been assassinated in Tehran.
Ontario is officially ending its COVID wastewater testing program today.
And late night host Seth Meyers has lined up a new comedy special. Here we are at the end of July already.
Here,
Good morning.
Morning.
Yes.
Yeah. August arrives tomorrow. Got a little rain yesterday. I put the laundry out in the line and cue the rain.
Just in time. Yay.
So you're welcome if you needed a little rain.
I love that you put laundry out on the line.
I actually really enjoy putting laundry out on the line.
I love the smell when you bring it back in.
It's wonderful,
Yeah.
isn't it? Yeah, see, that's what happened yesterday. They went, oh, yeah, Tim's putting laundry out on the line. Let's cue the rain.
Well, then there's you're doing things and you look at it, it's like, it's raining. So then you're like running outside, you're trying to get it all gathered up.
I was going, yay, it's raining. Don't have to stand there and water the hydrangeas. So that was nice. It didn't last very long. It was just kind of brief through some areas yesterday. But today, it's going to be a gorgeous wrap-up to July, kind of like the weekend that we had. Lots of sunshine, a little bit of cloud cover. We'll call it a mix of sun and clouds for the day today, and we should hit 30 degrees today with a humidex around 38. So it's going to be hot. It's going to be sticky. I mean, it's warm right now. Temperature right now is 21. Humidex already 28 degrees, and it's fairly hazy. We have high relative humidity at the moment, 100%, so the air is saturated. I didn't notice any fog patches coming in, so should be okay there. But we'll talk about the forecast in detail coming up. Let's check traffic, see if there's anything happening this morning. It's already busy, but it's moving okay here at the 403 around Waterdown Road, so nothing happening right there. Let's go to some MTO traffic cameras as usual. We'll check into Stony Creek here at Millen Road, looking fine there, no problems top of the Skyway Bridge. Burlington doing okay here at the QEW at Appleby Line. So we'll look at weather and traffic as usual. We'll check that for you coming up. Right now, the news.
Okay, thanks very much. Well, Hamas has confirmed its leader has been assassinated in Tehran. Ismail Haniyeh was in the Iranian capital for the swearing in of the country's new president. Hamas says their leader was killed in an Israeli strike. There has been no confirmation, though, from Israel. The death could inflame already heightening tensions in the Middle East, and there are fears Hamas could pull out of negotiations for a ceasefire and hostage release deal in the 10-month war in Gaza, which U.S. mediators had said there was progress being made.
Well, meanwhile, Israel has struck the Lebanese capital of Beirut. Officials say the attack had targeted the militant commander allegedly behind a weekend rocket strike that hit a soccer field in the Golan Heights area that killed 12 children. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu had vowed heavy retaliation against Hezbollah for the strike, but the Lebanon-based militant group has denied any role in that attack.
York Regional Police are investigating 7 cases of vandalism, including attacks on businesses and a synagogue with anti-Semitic graffiti. They've released video of a suspect wearing a scream mask, and they're looking for a light blue vehicle seen in the area. This happened early Monday around Yonge and Centre Streets, as well as Clark Avenue in Vaughan and in Markham. Comes as hate-motivated crimes have been on the rise in Toronto. Police have said that hate crimes in the city are up nearly 55% from last year. A GoFundMe page has been set up after a collision in St. Catharines last week. The fundraiser is to help support the family of a teen cyclist who was hit by an SUV. As of this morning, it has over $10,000. A 16-year-old cyclist identified as Aiden Daniels who was described as the organizer of the fundraiser as an adventurous kid who loved animals, riding bikes, and spending time with friends and family. Niagara police say the crash happened in the area of Glendale Avenue and Glengarry Road. The cyclist was taken to hospital but later died. The 45-year-old woman driving the SUV wasn't hurt. We've reached out to police about whether any charges have been laid, but we haven't heard back. 29-year-old woman from Brantford has been missing now for 2 months. Brantford police have released this photo of Mary. They haven't given her last name. They also haven't specified her last known location, but say she was seen by her family on May 31st. She's 5'5", she's white, weighs 130 pounds, and has dirty blonde shoulder-length hair. She has tattoos on her arms and legs, and she's known to frequent the downtown area in Brantford. Well, Ontario is officially ending its COVID-19 wastewater testing program today. Simone Gavros joins us from McMaster University, where some of that testing was done, with more.
Good morning, Annette. Well, the decision so far has been met with a lot of disappointment from public health experts, some saying that this is a short-sighted move from the government. Now, the wastewater testing program started in 2020 at the beginning of the pandemic. And like you mentioned, McMaster was one of the first universities to be a part of the program to test COVID-19 in wastewater. Now, wastewater testing is one of the ways to test for any initial signs of COVID-19 and other viruses that may be on the rise. It's a practice that's been used since the 1960s to monitor diseases like polio. Now, this not only tracks COVID-19 in communities, but also H5N1, avian flu, RSV, and other influenza. Now, this gives the community a head start to know what the trends look like before hospitals could become overwhelmed with any illnesses. The provincial program is winding down to avoid any duplication as the federal health agency expands its testing in Ontario. The province says tomorrow will be the final update of the report, and Public Health Ontario says COVID-19 surveillance information will still be available through the federal monitoring dashboard. Now, this morning, I reached out to a number of epidemiologists to get their reaction to this, as well as those experts that are involved with the wastewater testing program here at McMaster for more. But for now, I'll send things back over to you, Annette.
Okay, thanks very much. Well, there are now 18 confirmed cases of listeria in Canada. The Public Health Agency of Canada says another 6 cases are linked to a national recall involving Silk and Great Value brands of almond and coconut milk. Most of the cases are in Ontario, with the rest in Quebec, Alberta, and Nova Scotia. The cases involve 2 deaths. Those who are sick are between the ages of 7 and 89.
All right, let's get into Sportsline. Day 5 of the Olympics in Paris underway, with the women's triathlon already completed and the men is underway. Yes, they are swimming in the Seine. All eyes this afternoon. It's going to be on Nice, though, as our women's soccer team tries to do the impossible, and that is make it out of the knockout round after being docked 6 points for the spying scandal from last week. Now, the Canadian Olympic Committee did appeal, and a decision on that is expected to come down around noon our time before the start of the final group stage match against Colombia. So depending on the outcome of that, they have to beat the 22nd ranked Colombians. If they do, they will be off to Paris for the quarterfinals, which would be just an amazing feat. So kickoff in this one goes at 3 p.m. our time. Our men's basketball team already off to the quarterfinals after a strong second half against Australia yesterday. Hamilton's Shea Gilgeous-Alexander had some foul trouble to start, but still dropped 16 points in a very efficient shooting night. Raptors' RJ Barrett led the way again with a team-high 24 points, but the defense, that was the big story in this one, forcing 18 turnovers with 11 steals. Next up is Spain on Friday to finish the round robin, and you want to win there so you avoid the United States until the medal round. The highlights from day 4, that was our women's rugby sevens team. The great thing about the Olympics is we fall in love with sports we're maybe not aware of or didn't know that well. Listen, rugby is a very popular sport in our country, but became that much more popular after our women shocked France in the quarters, then beat Australia in the semis, but just fell short of gold as they were beaten by the Kiwis. Yeah, New Zealand would beat our ladies and win gold. Wonderful effort that allowed us our 2nd silver and 6th medal of the games, and one of the great moments thus far. As we bring up the medal board, there we go. 2 gold, 2 silver, 2 bronze, good for 6th. United States has the most medals at 26. They only have 4 golds. Japan has the most golds with 7 overall, 7 golds and 13 overall. Now, 2 of our medals have come from the darling of the games, for Canada anyway, Summer McIntosh, who was back in the pool this morning with a gold and silver already to her name. She just swam in the women's 200-meter butterfly heats, finishing 3rd in her heat and qualifying for the semifinals this afternoon. Summer, she does have Olympic lineage, as her mom Jill competed in the LA Games in 1984 and chatted to us about the hard work that is needed.
She was a little bit of a natural swimmer, but she mostly relies on hard work. She's an extremely hard worker, and you can't be at this level not being a very hard worker. So we're most proud about that and the person she is and how she represents her country and loves her teammates and is a team player.
Yeah, we had a chance to chat with Jill. There's her sister Brooke, who's actually a competitive skater, and Dad Greg at Canada House in Paris, and we'll hear from Dad Greg coming up next hour. All right, let's go to the Blue Jays. They were one of the busiest teams at the MLB trade deadline, but for the wrong reasons. They shipped out popular outfielder Kevin Kiermaier to the LA Dodgers in exchange for left-handed pitcher Ryan Yarbrough. To wrap up a number of trades they made over the past week, they shipped out 8 players, most who were free agents at the end of the season, which includes Trevor Richards and Isaiah Kiner-Falefa yesterday. They did get back 13 prospects, some who can help this year and next. But it didn't help them last night in Baltimore.
Probably trespass to pitch around a guy if that were the case. That one is flared out to left field. That's going to be a base hit. And that's going to play to pair.
Yeah, Jays pitcher Chris Bassett staying put with the team and did not have the outing he would have liked in game 3 of 4 against the first-place Orioles. He would allow 5 runs over just 4 innings of work as the depleted Jays, they would drop this one 6-2. Could be a tough remainder of the season. Well, listen, it's been tough thus far. How could it get any worse? We'll see. They wrap up the series this afternoon with Paolo Espino. Who is that? I have no idea either. He's on the mound for Toronto. Should be a lot of fun. Yeah.
All right, we'll find out together. It's 11 minutes after 6 o'clock. It is Wednesday morning, the last morning of July. A hazy start, as you can see in that camera. Speaking of cameras, let's go through some traffic cameras. First of all, nothing here at the 403 and Waterdown Road. Doing okay right now. MTO traffic cameras, we'll start in St. Catharines, QEW, Martindale. We have no problems with volume at all. Millen Road, Stony Creek. We'll advance to Burlington at Fairview. Flip ahead to the Ford plant going through Oakville and all the way through Mississauga, 427 Gardner QEW combination. Nothing to see there either, which is good. Temperature this morning, we are well above seasonal. We're in the 20s to start the morning once again. 21 is our temperature. The humidity is 100%. The air is saturated. It looks fairly hazy because of that. And the humidex already is 28 degrees. There is some sun, but a fair bit of cloud cover. Air quality for today in the moderate risk category at 4 for both morning and for afternoon. Low pressure system going by us. A little bit of a clear break for today. And then we have another frontal boundary and low pressure system approaching. That could bring us some showers as we get well into tomorrow and lasting through into the weekend. So today, temperatures 30 degrees. Humidex, it's going to feel like about 38. Some areas could get a shower or a thunderstorm during the afternoon, but looks like Hamilton just a mix of sun and clouds. Tonight, temperatures stay warm, 20 degrees to 21 around the Horseshoe. A little bit cooler as you head away from the lake, but the humidity is going to be high. We'll get some fog patches developing throughout the overnight and into tomorrow morning. And tomorrow, once again, 28 for Niagara Falls, 29 for Cayuga, Simcoe, Brantford, Kitchener, and Guelph, but generally 30. Bit of sun to start the day, and then once again, chance of that instability, showers and thunderstorms pushing in. So last day of July already. We're looking at partly sunny skies. Temperature right now 21, humidex 28. Long range in a few minutes. Annette, Tim.
Okay, let's check in now with Emily for what's coming up in Chit Chat.
I have to say I'm also very excited about this heat. I know not everybody loves it. I know if you suffer kind of respiratory illness and you just, it's not your thing, but like, yes. Is that weird?
Kind of. Yeah, like I thought like last week was great. Yeah, I don't need it this sticky.
Oh,
you know what I mean?
I'm like, yes. Like when it just hits you in the face like a wall, it's the best.
Okay.
I totally thought I was going to get like more positive responses, so never mind.
We've had these discussions before with you. We know where you stand.
Moving on. Seth Meyers, he is coming out with his own HBO special. It's his first stand-up tour on tape, and we will check it out, a little bit of it at least. Usher is coming to the big screen, and you guys...
My.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Oh my God. Now you've got me singing. And we're going to be talking about a children's book coming to life.
All right.
Okay.
We'll see you on the couch in a little bit.
Okay, coming up after the break in business news, a new report shows the average rent for condos in the GTHA has gone down. Just after 6:16 on your Wednesday morning, and overseas trading, the Canadian dollar is up 6 basis points, trading at 72.25 cents U.S. Gold is up almost $12 an ounce, and crude oil is up $1.73 to $76.52 a barrel U.S. Checking midday trading in Europe, markets are up across the board: London, Paris, and Frankfurt.
Off to Asia we go. Markets up in Tokyo, Hong Kong, and Shanghai. What about North American markets? Let's have a little look-see. There we go. Just have to do it 3 times. TSX up 45 basis points. Dow Jones has gains of 203. NASDAQ down 222.
Well, for the first time in 3 years, the average price for a condo rental in Canada's most densely populated region has dropped. A new report from Urban Nation says the average rents on new leases in the Greater Toronto and Hamilton area dropped 1.2% in the second quarter compared to a year ago. It says rent for a 686 square foot condo in the area was an average of $2,700, just over $2,700 from April to June. It's the first decline since 2021. The president of Urban Nation says the dip is mostly because of a spike in condo completions, a trend that isn't likely to last because new condo sales and starts have dropped off substantially.
Stats Canada are going to be releasing May's gross domestic product report a little bit later this morning. Preliminary estimates indicate the economy grew by 0.1% in May. The federal agency will also publish an estimate for economic growth in the second quarter today, while RBC says it does expect the data to show a weakening economy. High interest rates have pushed for a slower, less active economy as consumers and businesses kind of pull back on spending. Bank of Canada cut interest rates for the second time in a row earlier this month, partially due to the visible weakening of Canada's economic conditions.
Microsoft went through another global service disruption yesterday, impacting products from its Outlook email service to the video game Minecraft. Microsoft announced the issue, which was resolved. They say it stemmed from a cyber attack and a failure to properly defend against it. The outage lasted about 10 hours yesterday, during which time thousands of users reported problems. It's apologized for the inconvenience. The incident follows a global outage that less than 2 weeks ago caused by a faulty software update from CrowdStrike.
Well, speaking of cyber attacks, the one that caused a major global outage disrupting Microsoft systems on millions of computers worldwide and specifically impacting Delta Airlines. So in response, Delta has hired a high-profile law firm to seek damages from the CrowdStrike cybersecurity firm, along with Microsoft. Delta wants damages for the massive service issue it suffered last week. A badly flawed software update caused that massive breakdown in Delta's crew traffic tracking software. It left the major air carrier unable to find the pilots and flight attendants that it needed to operate. According to FlightAware, Delta was forced to cancel 6,300 flights and delayed 9,300 others over 5 days. An aviation analyst estimates the software issue cost Delta between $325 and $475 million.
Meta has agreed to pay a $1.4 billion U.S. settlement to the state of Texas over a privacy lawsuit. It involves facial recognition. It was launched over allegations that Meta used biometric data of users without their permission. Texas's attorney general says the settlement is the largest secured by a single state in the U.S. It comes 3 years after a judge approved a $650 million settlement with the company formerly known as Facebook over similar allegations by users in Illinois.
Shall we take a break?
Let's do that.
Okay, let's take a break. Brian, he says Brian's going to be coming up next.
Yeah,
all right.
He's busy. Very
he
busy.
Looks like he's just, is he really working over there?
Sure I am.
Okay, all right, fine.
6:24, just about on the button here. There it is right now. Okay, looking at QEW in Glendale, our MTO traffic cameras this morning. St. Catharines is doing fine, so no problems going through St. Catharines, the Niagara area. I wanted to check this side of the Burlington Skyway. It's getting a little slow going down to North Shore Boulevard. Otherwise, nothing at Appleby, nothing at Cooksville Creek. Even the 403 at Burnham Thorpe looks pretty good this morning. There's a little high cloud cover this morning as we get into this very last morning of July. July has 31 days, but it always seems to go by so fast, faster than every other month almost. 21 for Hamilton. Humidex right now is 28, so it's a warm start. 20 Grimsby, 22 Mississauga, 24 for Toronto. So seasonal temperatures this time of year, 26 for the daytime high, 15 for the overnight low, so we're on the warm side. Those are our sun times for today. And our record temperatures. We're looking at generally a mix of sun and clouds for today. So if you're heading out for your morning walk with your pal, it's pretty good. It's partly sunny. The winds are fairly light. Temperature right now is 21, as I said, a humidex about 28. So today we're climbing to 30 with a humidex of 38. So it's going to be a hot one today. Enjoy the sunshine because tomorrow we have instability building in. Some areas today could get some showers and thunderstorms, but that's for Hamilton. 20 overnight tonight, another warm one, 30 tomorrow, humidex 39, chance of showers and thunderstorms as we get into August. Friday and Saturday, both looking to be fairly cloudy now, chance of showers and 27. It's warmer on Sunday. The civic holiday Monday, chance of a shower. It's just a slim chance, otherwise some sun. That's your forecast. Annette, Tim.
Okay. Remember writing fan letters? Did you ever do that?
I did a little bit. I say this because we get them here. Did you see the card that a wonderful viewer sent us?
No.
Wrote a nice little letter to us.
Is it up on the bulletin board?
It's actually at my desk.
Oh, that's why I didn't see it. Okay,
I'll show it to you in the break.
Okay, thank you. Well, anyways, Google's new ad shows AI doing something like that for you, and people aren't happy.
She wants to show Sydney some love, and I'm pretty good with words, but this has to be just right. So Gemini, help my daughter write a letter telling Sydney how inspiring she is. And be sure to mention that my daughter plans on breaking.
Yeah, so the ad shows a dad talking about his daughter's admiration for Olympic track star Sydney McLaughlin-Levone. When she wants to write a letter to Sydney, the dad uses Google Gemini chatbot to write it for her. Many viewers think this takes away from a child's real feelings and creativity. Critics say it just shows how out of touch tech can be, replacing personal touches with computer-generated words. The ad has sparked a lot of discussion online about whether AI is replacing genuine human expression.
Okay, and why is the dad writing it for the little girl?
Okay, so there's a lot of questions about this because you also want to see the penmanship. You know what I mean? Like kids' penmanship, it's so cute to see like how they write things, authentic. And I will say, I've been putting some things on because we're moving coming up, so we're trying to sell some stuff, and I put some stuff on Facebook Marketplace.
And you're using AI?
It's really helping you describe the thing to what you want. You should see what it's concocting to be able to put a little story together on how we want to sell some things.
There you go.
Anyways, is that cheating?
No.
Okay, thank you. Half hour down, lots more to come on your what day is today? It is a Wednesday. All right, we'll see you in a couple minutes.